So 5 years ago, I left myself a video time capsule, and today I'm going to react to it, talk to you guys about what lessons I've learned, hopefully maybe imparting some wisdom to you guys too, you know? I made this video when I was 20 years old. I'm 25 now, and so I know that a lot of my viewers are within that same like 20 to 30 range, and I'm hoping that like we're all gonna discover something together. Maybe this will encourage you guys to do it too. I'm Calxiyn, by the way, if you don't know. That's Archie back there, who I did not have when this video was recorded. He never does that. He never sits in here while I'm recording. I just got him the cat tree, so that may be a little mildly distracting for me, but I'm not gonna shut him out. He can be here too. I'm also gonna try to do this without any editing. You know, if you've seen me do my anime discussions before, I can get very hung up, let's call it, on like cutting out every, I just did it, cutting out every like and and all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna try to make this as authentic a viewing experience as possible. And I'm just gonna press play and then listen to myself, commentate, that sort of thing. Also, did you guys notice I'm wearing the same dress? I'm also noticing now there's like a weird sort of like hem situation on the sides, which I didn't notice before. I don't know, maybe I've just like lost weight. I'm not filling it out how the designer intended, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know if I would wear that if I want to do this again in the future, but yeah. Oh, I should say, I do remember specifically one thing that I talked about, and I also assume that I talked about, you know, RWBY and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good guess, you know, just like common sense would dictate that I probably mentioned like that sort of thing, but I don't remember like the script for this. I think I scripted it. I don't remember. I don't really remember recording it. It was obviously over Thanksgiving though, because of the timing, and like this is my like Thanksgiving outfit, so that I do know. But yeah, we're just gonna press play. Let's go. Let's do it. But yeah, this, thank you for the aerial text. I'll be responding to it as soon as future Calxiyn can't. Like, this is as soon as I can do. Sorry, guys.
Good day, everyone in the future.
Okay, so I do want to say something, by the way. I am not sweaty, all right? Whatever you guys are thinking, I'm not, like, overly sweaty. The exposure was set way too high on this camera. I also will say, like, my curls are popping. You know, obviously I had bleached my hair, but I don't think it was just the bleach. I think, you know, because I have dyed my hair before. I had the pink for the longest time, and my hair was fine, just, like, almost just as curly as this right now. I did not know, like, how to style my hair the way I do now. But yeah, this was not sweaty, it was the exposure. Also, I think that my makeup game has improved. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but I have like a yellow-orange gradient going on. But yeah, so this is funny, because this is also when we were up against this wall, which is now soundproofing, as you guys can see. So we changed direction at some point in this office, so you can see how long it is that even, or how long ago it was that even like the background and everything has changed. Archie, did you leave? That's okay. He can go do whatever he wants. Like, he's king of the house. But anyway, I'm also gonna speed myself up a bit just because I'm pretty sure I was talking really slowly, and that some of you guys, I know that you were waiting for me to react to the video to see it for the first time yourself, if that makes sense. And so some of you have waited, but some of you have seen it already. So I want to make this, you know, I don't want this to be an hour-long video. Famous last words.
Quarantine. So if you guys are seeing this video, that means it is time for 25-year-old Cal to react to me.
Oh my god, it is time!
Me to respond to my questions that her past self had for her future self.
Oh god, see, I've been worried about this too. I'm like, well, what if I achieved nothing in my life that my past self, but we'll talk about that later anyway.
And I feel like it's a really good point in my life to make a time capsule right now. Like, not only is the world in chaos,
that's true. It was a good time.
I don't know how the fallout of quarantine and COVID is gonna really affect me, just because like auditions for my dream job have basically gone down because of the state of the world.
There were no auditions.
I didn't get to see my friends at RTX. I didn't get to see
and well, okay, I guess this isn't really a question, but like RTX did come. We'll talk about that.
Well, this year, like, a lot has happened in the world to change how I'm navigating through it. But also just in general, right? I have like 6 months until I technically graduate.
Yeah,
I'll get to that later.
right. Oh my god.
Year, I'm not sure. But I technically graduate, and then after that, it's like, okay, but what happens? Like, what happens after I graduate? What job do I get? Like, all that sort of stuff. So I feel like
what job do I get, bestie? 3 more years of school. This is so funny. I don't know if I should respond to all of that now, because I feel like that was like the thesis of the video. Like, oh, I'm gonna ask about this, and that. Like, we haven't gotten into the questions yet, so I'll just let her keep going, you know?
To make a time capsule and like get my mindset of what I was thinking now and what I sort of wanted for my future, and then for future me, they have the burden to respond. I did try to spend this quarantine time really trying to improve my mental health and create this like work-life balance that works for me. I made some really cool videos this year and
this is all true. But the work-life balance, it slipped away. I'm finding it again, don't worry. So, again, maybe that's something that I have a specific question for, but the work-life balance with Calxiyn Cares Too Much wasn't going well at the beginning of this year. Like, I was basically stopping everything, like Calxiyn, streaming, Genshin, all of that stuff, like just everything to focus on Calxiyn Cares Too Much, and like editing every day for 10 hours a day, and like by the time the weekend came, I would just like, I wouldn't even stream, I would just kind of, you know, collapse and recharge for the next one, because I don't know if you guys know this. Well, first of all, some of you may not know about Calxiyn Cares Too Much, the video essay channel, but I did used to post on Calxiyn Cares Too Much like 3 or even 4 times a month, and the only reason why I could do that was because I was scripting, editing, recording, putting out the video, like doing it all in 1 week basically, and it was bad. Now I release videos much slower. Oh gosh, slower on Calxiyn Cares Too Much, but I would say that the mental health aspect is much better, you know, just because now I have the opportunity to stream on the weekend, and I can go back to doing reactions if I want to. Like, I'm not, you know, trapped in the dungeon making videos about Preminger, as much as I love to do it, right? So, you know.
2020, I've had a lot of fun with my online friends, like playing online games with them, just making the most and the best out of quarantine.
I don't know, Animal Crossing?
So I'm feeling really hopeful for the future right now, but like I said, we may be entering a completely different world after all of this is over, and I'm just on the cusp.
Yeah, it's not bad to be optimistic about the future. Sorry, I'll let Cal finish. I can't, you guys really complain I talk over Hunter, like I talk over myself too, you know? My thoughts just go.
All of this is over, and I'm just on the cusp of this arc of my life finishing and transitioning from being a student into like an adult with a job. So
no, there's no job!
In 5 years, and it's sort of mind-blowing to think about.
This is crazy, oh my god, I feel so like,
audience,
not embarrassed per se, but like.
Myself. This is how I look right now. My hair is blonde, and this is how I do my makeup.
Right,
I don't know if that matters. I doubt that's really gonna change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's changed that much. I used to use a lot more. This is so random. I'm so sorry, guys. We haven't gotten into the meat yet, and I've been recording for 9 minutes. Again, hour-long video, famous last words, whatever. I've been trying to use less and less foundation, but you can't really tell here because, again, the exposure is so high that, like, I feel like my makeup game is a little confusing. But I was putting on way too much foundation, and I remember when I was in theater school and we did pictures for one of the shows, my director was like, Kaylin, stop that. Like, you can't be doing this. She didn't say it like that, but she was like you can see, like, you are as pale as a ghost. And it was because I was doing, I guess, my, you know, makeup, how the beauty gurus did in 2016 when there was like these giant, like, grape-sized things of foundation, right? And you were just like pouring it all over your skin. Again, you can't really tell in this video, but yeah, I've had to learn how to undo that. Otherwise, you know, I think my makeup game was always on point. I don't know what was going on with your hair though, bestie. Like, I gotta say, like, this is my natural hair now, and like, this was my natural hair as a child. I'm not gonna blame the hair dye. I don't think that the hair dye would have done this, because my pink side was just as curly a couple months ago. But anyway.
Got it down, I think. My hair's blonde because my mom thought that would help with like auditions and stuff, you know, to be like pretty and blonde, I guess you could say. If you're not performing, I hope that your hair is dyed blue, because that is really—
I hope your hair is dyed blue! No! Well, I mean, this was this before Fox and Neo? So we still have another year until the Fox and Neo brain rot. So that's why she's like, oh, I wish that your hair would be blue, because that was like, you know, I wanted to be the girl from Life is Strange in high school when I was like 17 and I dyed my hair blue. Okay. I've sorted that all out in my head.
What I've been missing since I've sort of dyed my hair more natural colors for auditions and stuff
like that.
I do.
See, some things never change though, because I also had to dye my hair back because of auditions and stuff, unfortunately. But now I wear a wig. If you guys have seen the Calxiyn Cares Too Much videos, I have a Neapolitan wig, so like all is safe and good in the world of Calxiyn hairstyles, because I'm happy with this hair, but I'm also happy with my wig hair.
Desperately miss my blue hair, so if you're not performing or haven't performed
I don't desperately miss it.
I hope that your hair is blue.
I'm
sorry,
this a
little bit, but I want to know
I'm sorry, I'm not that person anymore. Like, I just wanted to be cool. I wanted to be like, her name's Chloe, right? I wanted to be like like Chloe Price. I don't want to be cool anymore. I want to be a fairy princess, and I have my love of pink back, you know, because all girls go through that phase where they hate pink, because, like, they were told, like, oh, if, you know, you like pink, like, you're a stupid girl or whatever. So, yeah, the blue, I wouldn't mind going back to it, but I don't think it reflects my personality as well as what I do now. Obviously, I'm not in Neapolitan dress today, but I think my sense of fashion, like, back then, especially before 2020, like when I was in high school and had my blue hair, was kind of untrue. Like, it was a defense mechanism. I wanted to be seen as, like, cooler than I actually was. I've accepted that I'm not cool. I'm cute, you know? So that's how it is.
It went for you, because I'm currently in my last year of my professional communications major.
How did school go for you?
And like I said, I want to do one more year. I'm not entirely sold on it, so let me know if you did the extra year or not, because I was thinking, like, oh, I'll do an extra year. I'll get a marketing minor to go with my English minor.
I don't remember thinking about this at all.
But, like, there's
what are you
on
talking
my shoulder telling me to stay in school and take all of the classes that I have available to me now while I still can, and there's a little devil, like, on the other side that is like, Cal, get the fuck out of here, because, like,
that's hilarious, because I didn't get the fuck out. I did 3 more years. I went to musical theater school. Was musical theater school even on her mind? No, it had to have been, because in 2021, I started at musical theater school, 2021 to 2023. So my auditions I would have been prepping for auditions now. What are you talking about, marketing degree? I think that I may mention that later. I love how this is like, I'm not being very kind to my past self. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean a marketing minor? I don't remember any of that. I don't know if, like, a marketing minor would help me now that I'm, like, unemployed and have no job. Maybe it would have been smarter to get a marketing minor, but, like, I did marketing as part of my pro-com degree. I don't think it was that, but that's hilarious. I don't remember. I was thinking about doing an extra year. I don't remember that. Like, what are you talking about?
Online school has been kind of trash, not gonna lie. But did you graduate?
Trash.
Like, I hope you graduated, because
I did
have
graduate.
7 months left.
Yay!
I literally have 7 months of school left, so if you have not graduated at 25, like, that is gonna be scary in terms of, like, what happened.
Yeah, I did graduate, don't worry. I am thinking about going back to school for my teaching degree. Because where I live, they are in desperate need of teachers, and, you know, when I was growing up, like, people basically said to me, like, Cal, I think that you're going to grow up and be an English teacher, like, that's how I see you, right? Which, you know, is kind of Calxiyn Cares Too Much adjacent, if you really think about it, right? And even, like, RWBY with our analyzing and our theorizing, that's something that I've always been passionate about. Oh my god, we're only 3 minutes in, and we've been recording for 50. You know what? It's okay. This is my video. Okay, this is supposed to be cathartic, all right? We're not gonna just rush through it. I don't care how long, you know, the average watch time is. This isn't a video that's gonna go viral anyway. Oh, Calxiyn Cares Too Much adjacent, you know, even with RWBY and stuff, like analyzing RWBY, right? I've always kind of had a knack for, like, what are the themes, and, like, not just the themes, but also, like, the mechanics of, like, well, how do the writers achieve these things, you know? Like, you have stuff like Save the Cat, right? Like, that's a classic in terms of, like, make the kind of jerky hero, or the hero that does, like, kind of bad things sometimes. Like, say Aladdin, for example. Aladdin could have come off as, like, a jerk, but he gave his bread to the orphans, and so we see that he has a heart of gold, and that makes everything okay. Something else that, like, writers do is that, especially for Disney, they'll show the character as a child, so you have that, like maternal or paternal instinct to, like, protect them, right? And so when they get older, you automatically kind of care about them because you saw their childhood innocent. Anyway, right? Not just, like, in a Hamlet, what are the themes type way, but also, like, how do you get there? How do you, you know, write or show, or, you know, those themes? So anyway, I am considering, but I did graduate, so yay, I didn't disappoint myself. Whee! It's always a good day when you didn't, you know, disappoint your
I'm
past
also
self.
interested around this time in doing, like, another degree, like going back to school and having a bachelor's degree in, like, musical theater or something.
Okay,
so, like,
yes, I did that.
Because that's definitely something I've been thinking about. Probably couldn't do that, like, with the current state of the world and everything.
Yes,
was
we
like,
were back in person by the time I started my musical theater. So I'm glad she mentioned it, because I was a little worried, like, the marketing, what are you talking about?
okay, well, what if I finish my professional communications degree and then I take a theater degree? Like, that would kind of be nice or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I did get into the dream school that I wanted to get into. That's what a dream school is. Oh my god, you guys can see, again, when I'm unscripted, the brain just starts to melt. But yeah, so I'm glad that I did what she wanted, right? So yeah, I got into my dream school. We were in person. Sometimes, like, it was a mix. Like, sometimes it was like, oh, for the first 2 weeks, you know, COVID's going around, so we're gonna do it online. But for the most part, it was in person. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna wait to see if she moves on to another topic. I'll park it here and talk about school a little more. But I'm assuming that she's gonna continue on this train of thought. So I will elaborate more on, well, graduating from Ryerson for my pro-com degree. It wasn't that hard, especially because we were at home. I do remember, I have a distinct memory though, of like procrastinating on a very important essay to instead edit the Spider Riders wiki. I don't remember if I knew I had ADHD actually when this video was being recorded. So yeah, like I was still procrastinating sometimes, but school became so much easier once I realized that I had ADHD and I started to take medication for it, because like otherwise, I mean, you guys probably know if you've been in a similar situation, like my life was just sort of, it was a miracle that I was functioning as well as I was functioning with like the undiagnosed ADHD, basically. And like the only reason that had never hindered me was because I was so good at bullshitting things at the last minute. But if I wasn't, they would have caught it earlier. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, I got good grades, so nobody cared. Like, nobody, you know, gave a fuck. But, like, there was still the actual struggle to get the good grades, and for so long, I didn't need to go through all that struggle, right? Like, I went through so much nonsense in high school, and I'm pretty sure it was because of the ADHD, right? And just, like, it was like pulling teeth to get stuff done, and like I wouldn't have had to go through all of that if I had known back then. So yeah, especially for Randolph, it's not like we had these crazy assignments anyway. For musical theater school I'm talking about, it's not like we had these crazy assignments anyway, and so I was never really in that Ryerson-like situation again. But when I got medicated, my life became so much easier. So yeah, I know why this Calxiyn though was speculating on it though, because if she wasn't on the medication yet, she probably would have been like, oh my god, we're gonna flunk out of school because we can't keep our shit together, right?
Guys,
So,
what is going on with work? Because that's literally
what is going on with work? Okay, so we have moved on from school to work, so I'm gonna wrap up school and direct this more to past Calxiyn compared to you guys. We did not do any more school at Ryerson. I have no idea what you're talking about. But we did go to musical theater school. I did get into the school that I, like my priority school, the one that I dreamed about getting into. And it was really hard. I mean, some of you guys that are watching this already know, but like for a lot of it, I had to wake up at 5 in the morning to be at ballet at 8 o'clock. And there were, every semester, I would break down in tears and Arnold and my mom would have to like talk me off the ledge so I wouldn't quit. Not because I didn't like it, but just because it was just so physically hard. Like, it was so physically taxing. This Calxiyn, I don't think would have thought that she would have been able to do it. Does that make sense? Not because, like, in a self-deprecating way, but just if I had a conversation with her and said, oh, and we were, like, up at 5 and doing ballet at 8, and then after ballet, we would have, you know, tap, or I guess in our school it was jazz, and then we would have tap on Tuesdays and all of that stuff, right? So, like, this Calxiyn would have been like, oh my god, right? She just wouldn't fathom that it's all gonna work out, I think, right? How do you get through all that without getting injured? So, I'm not gonna lie to you, there was a lot of misery. I was miserable a lot of the time because of the schedule, right? If I lived down there, if I could stroll up to class 15 minutes before class started, maybe it would have been a different story, but then that comes with other challenges like having to take care of yourself and live on your own and pay rent and all of that, right? So in some ways I was really lucky, in other ways, right? But I learned a lot. Like, I wouldn't have Calxiyn Cares Too Much today if it wasn't for musical theater school, because I don't think that this is gonna be something that this Cal even clocks or recognizes, but it wasn't just about performing, it was about the mechanics of a musical, and we had an entire class where it was, oh gosh, it was like creative such and such. It was basically like the capstone project of the class was like, you're gonna make your own musical. Right? And so if it wasn't for that class, I wouldn't have Calxiyn Cares Too Much, and I wouldn't be interested in songwriting. And so, if anything, you know, because here's the thing, right? And I'm sure we'll talk about work now that we're transitioning, so this may be good. I I can't promise even my current self that I'm gonna be on Broadway or work for Disney just because I did the 3 years of musical theater school. Life doesn't work like that. It's not this equivalent exchange where, oh, you know, you clocked in, you did your time, and so now you get your reward and whatever, right? But what I can say is that those 3 years taught me more about myself than not doing it, right? It was the determination, it was the diligence, it was getting up at 5 a.m. and like having the willpower, the discipline, I guess you would call it, right? And so if I can do that, I feel like I can do anything. A normal 9 to 5, if they ever find me, you know, there will be nothing compared to that schedule that I had to do. And, you know, my one regret is that I wasn't as social as I should have been because I was so tired all the time, right? If people were going out after class, I'm like, nope, gotta go home. You know, parties and stuff like that, I was like, oh, but if I go to this and it ends at 12, I'm gonna be home at like 2 in the morning, right? That sort of stuff. And my mom was willing to like help me out occasionally with that sort of thing, like if I did want to go to something, but I was just so tired. So I wish, if anything, that I wasn't as tired for those 3 years because I could have maybe like spent more time and like, but I had friends, right? Like I had friends in school. I just didn't see them outside of school that much. So that's like my one regret. And if I ever do something like remotely similar to that, I don't know what would be similar, but like say for example, right, I have a cruise contract, right, and I'm with a cast of other people. I would want to make sure this time that I prioritize building relationships with the other people in the cast, as opposed to like, oh my god, I'm so tired. But the other thing was, right, I also had my YouTube channels to worry about, and so it wasn't just, oh my god, I'm so tired. It's like, if I go to this, that's gonna zap the little I have left to make sure that Calxiyn is still thriving, and I needed that money, right? And so it was just like the balancing act, right? Whereas now, if I did get a job on a cruise, what I would probably do is do a bunch of videos in bulk and then like forget about it, and not like, I'm not gonna make a video in the middle of the ocean, like it's not happening, right? Maybe a YouTube short, but like a whole, I'm not gonna spend time editing. That's like the thing, right? You know, I don't regret prioritizing my channel during musical theater school, but I do have the kind of sense and like the hindsight to recognize that prioritizing my YouTube channel did mean sacrificing other opportunities, and like I wasn't always like 100% like focused on class. But at the same time, you can't be 100% focused on class because that's how you have no, you know, inner life and you die. Right? Like I would have been so miserable if I didn't have videos to think about or like fan fiction or all that other stuff, because there's only so many times that you can like go through, you know, your ballet pirouettes and stuff like that. You need to have that balance. So yeah, school was good. I'm not gonna lie though and say that I had a good time all the time. Like I said, every semester I would start crying and I would want to quit. And there were like some other things that were like not so easy for me that I don't know if I want to like talk about right now, like in terms of like the actual school, you know what I mean? But in general, I would say I am better for doing it. So what I would say to you guys, you know, because I want this video to try to provide value to you guys, not just be me talking in an egotistical way about all my achievements, right? Like I would say, if you guys ever have a similar opportunity to take it, right? Because that literally changed my life, and this Calxiyn couldn't fathom how. It's not about performing. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, I still want to. Like, I want to perform. I want to do shows. I want to do cruise line, all of that stuff. But I've also made peace with like, but that's not within my control. If this never happens for me, I feel like that's okay, because this has just enriched my life in so many other ways, right? Like I have my VTuber models, which again, probably wasn't on this Calxyn's mind, that hopefully that'll be done relatively soon. The model artists are still working and stuff, right? Like I would have never written my own music if it wasn't for Randolph. And so even if not, you know, again, I never cared about being on Broadway in the first place, to be honest with you. My goals have always been, oh, I want to work for Disney, right? So, I already never had that sort of like, oh, I'm gonna like move to New York and be on Broadway and get the Tonys, right? Like, I never had that. Like, it was always just about Disney, and I feel like that is still very much attainable. But even if it wasn't just about Disney, if that makes sense, like, even if I had some sort of like, oh, I want to win the Tonys and whatever, right? And like, that's not within your control to get cast and to do those things. I would still have, like, I have my own songwriting projects now. Like, that being there fostered my creativity and my my sensibilities, I guess, as a performer and what I want to see in the world. Like, being in school made me realize, oh, I have always wanted the princess who gets the big I want song like Quasimodo. I have always wanted to play the villain, but because I'm not like an old lady, right, like Ursula or Maleficent, I'll never get to do that, right? And so I wouldn't have that, and I wouldn't have like the creative instincts that I do now. I wouldn't have the drive, basically, to be a storyteller in the same way if I didn't go to school. So even if I don't, end up performing like that, it doesn't matter because I'm making my own thing, and somehow that feels more like right and like more freeing, if that makes sense, because that's something I can control. I can make the things that I want to see in the world versus being part of someone else's somebody else's show. So yeah, that's everything about school. Oh my god, when I said that this video was gonna be short, I lied, bestie, I lied, I'm sorry. So yeah, to wrap up the school section, yes, I graduated, and I graduated again, like I graduated twice. I have my 2 degrees now, but really, yeah, like everything with musical theater school, I do feel like I've improved as a singer, I've improved as an actress, as a dancer, all of that stuff, especially dance going into school. That's something I really struggled with, and I'm still learning, right? It's not like, oh, you got your degree and now you're done. I'm still learning, right? But the most valuable thing I got from school was like the drive and the passion to create my own things, like to songwrite. And that's something that this Calxiyn like probably was not in her mind at all. And so I think that that's the amazing thing. So that's what I would tell you guys. If you have the opportunity to like go abroad, it doesn't even need to be, like going to school. It could be like a program. Like I know Disney has the, the cultural exchange program, and so I think you have to be in school for that one, but the representative program, all that stuff, like to do those things and to like seek out those opportunities, because you may think that you're just going for, again, the acting and the singing and the dancing, but then it teaches you something about yourself that you wouldn't have found out otherwise. And that's what I'll always thank Randolph for, even if I have some beef. So let's hear Calxiyn talk about work.
The scariest part of this video, because once I'm done school, I literally have no idea what's gonna happen, and it makes me a little paranoid. And so if you are not a performer or a YouTuber, like, please explain to me what you're doing, because right now, like, in my head, I cannot foresee myself in an office job unless it's sort of a social media person for a show I like, or an anime I like, or a video game I like, you know what I mean? And so I don't want to think about or manifest me getting an office job in the future, right?
This is why I'm unemployed!
That is not being a performer or a full-time YouTuber. I guess you're gonna have to explain, because I'm sitting here confused about how you could do that to yourself right now.
Wow! I'm sitting here confused about how you can do that to yourself. That's crazy. This Calxiyn cast a spell on me. Like, there is witchcraft involved. That's crazy that she said that she's not manifesting that for you. Okay, so let's talk about work. I'm unemployed. I've been trying to find a job, and I see myself in jobs all the time. Whether it's been like shows, right? Like I've been auditioning for stuff, regular jobs. I'm not gonna say exactly what I applied for, but this, like, I can't see you in an office job. I've like changed my mind about that, right? Let's say, for example, there was a local theater company and they need a social media person, right? Like in New York, what do you guys have? The Radio City Music Hall? Like, let's pretend it's something like that, but in Toronto. I have applied for jobs similar to that, right? And I haven't been that picky either. Like, I've applied even for, like, life insurance and stuff that I'm not that interested in. But this was a little, I don't know why she said that. That's a little short-sighted, because I've always wanted to be a social media person for, like, again, a show, an animation studio, a theater company, like, an otherwise music-adjacent sort of thing, like a symphony, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know where that all came from. Maybe she just really wanted to manifest the YouTube stuff. But yeah, I do see myself in jobs. Also, like, not just music or theater related, but also, like, there are products that I use in my life, and I've applied to those companies because I feel very strongly about the products that they selling, you know? Let's pretend it's Charmed Aroma, right? They don't have any jobs open, but let's pretend, like, I have applied to, like, Canadian companies that are like that. So, like, I found it, bestie. I don't know what you were thinking, but I did find, like, some ideas of, like, oh, this is where I could see myself. I'm unemployed. I think it's her fault. This is kind of something that I was worried about. Before Calxiyn cares too much, I should say. So this would have been in 2023, right? So this was right after I graduated, but then before, like, Calxiyn cares too much things. But it would have been 3 years, like, into this video existing and me knowing that one day I would have, like, this video would come out. Like, I was starting to get worried of, like, oh my god, what if I sit down for this video and I'm a loser and I haven't been cast in a show, right, and the YouTube channel is dead? Like, there was a lot of panic, I guess you could say, and a lot of just fear, and, like, I don't want to disappoint my past self. Like, how can I look at this past self who is so happy and cheery in the eye and be like, I'm a loser and I didn't accomplish any of your dreams, actually. Luckily, that's not what happened, all right? Calxiyn Cares Too Much has been, I think, an even bigger success. Sorry, to the people that only watch Calxiyn, but, like, an even bigger success than this channel. And I think part of it is just, like, the YouTube ecosystem and niching down. This may be better later and we'll talk about this, but the thing about anime reactions is that in my mind, back in 2020, I wanted to be like Semblance of Sanity, right? Like, oh, we're uploading reactions every single day and, like, you know, it's this new thing, like, all the time, like, old stuff, new stuff, like, that sort of thing, what they do. But, like, Caleb and them, like, they record for, like, 8 hours a day. At least last time I checked. This could be different now, but I'm talking about 2020, Cal, right? They record for, like, 8 hours a day. I'm pretty sure they have editors now. That is not viable for, if I had gotten a job, right? Even if I had gotten a job, that would have not been a viable plan for Calxiyn, right? Like, in terms of the reaction, content. Because something would have to give eventually. You can't be recording, like, 10 different anime and have a job, right? Like, a real job, quote unquote, right? And so I think that, like, it's not just about the views or anything, with Calxiyn Cares Too Much, even though I've made, like, huge achievements there, as well. It's just that, like, this is something that'll always be there, and it's reliant on me. It's not reliant on how popular RWBY is, or Miraculous, or whatever. Obviously, our topics are Disney-centric, and so you could say, oh, well, it's not like you're a vlogger, right? Like, you're, capitalizing still on, like, Disney and everything, but it's different. It's different than a reaction channel. I feel like reaction channels can only survive if they're doing, like, the newest thing, right? Or if, again, like Semblance of Sanity, they have, like, all of these little shows that, like, some of them get a lot of views, some of them get, like, 2,000 views, right? But, like, you have a lot of it, right? And so people subscribe for your catalog of anime content. And at one time, I did want that for the Calxiyn YouTube channel. But as time progressed, right, and this video was getting closer, and I realized that that wasn't happening, right? Especially, we'll talk about this later, because there is something that I remember, but after my grandfather passed away, I was, like, too depressed, basically, to even do reactions. Like, I tried. I think I started Oshinoko. I did Migi and Dally. Like, that was fun. At Arnold's house, I think I started that, but, like, you don't want to be energetic and cheerful and all this stuff after a situation like that. So I was really getting anxious after I graduated. I was like, what if I can't find a job and Calxiyn, because I show the subscriber count, right? We've doubled the subscriber count since this video was recorded, but I was like, well, what if, like, the channel's dead and nobody cares? And it was all, like, there was this big fear that I wouldn't accomplish anything. But I do think that Calxiyn Cares Too Much is one of my biggest accomplishments. I hit 100K on my video essay 2 weeks ago, and that's when I knew, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that's when I knew, like, okay, this video would be okay, because I have stuff to show. I can show the Calxiyn Cares Too Much channel and the success and the community more than, again, the views and the subscribers, like, the community that we've built there and the purpose that I've gotten from that. So hopefully, again, haven't disappointed past Calxiyn, right? But that was a big anxiety of mine. Again, not when I recorded this, but years knowing that eventually it would come back of, like, oh my god, what if I didn't book anything? And again, I'm a total failure. I think I already said all that. So we will keep going. But yeah, so I am still looking for a normal job. If you know of one, you know, reach out to me, let me know. But basically, like, I do make money, okay? I do make money from Calxiyn Cares Too Much and Calxiyn VODs now, the VOD channel, right? So it's not like I'm, gonna be destitute or something. I'm basically just saving money. I help out my mom when I can. I don't buy anything for myself anymore. What do I really need anyway? I have a million fucking candles. I have all the games in my backlog that I haven't played yet. Like, I don't need anything, right? Like, even clothes, like, I pretty much have, like, in terms of clothes for a utility purpose, I have, like, a bunch of clothes. I'm only missing, like, a couple pieces. Like, I could, use, like, a pencil skirt for office wear, like, that sort of stuff. I'm like, I don't really feel like I need anything in my life anyway to be spending, like, a bunch of money, and so maybe I've become less materialistic is the word for it, but I'm like, if I had a real job, obviously I would help out my mom more than I try to help her out now. I help her out when I can, with certain things. But, like, I think that money would be more about experiences. Like, oh, we could go out to eat, like, more often, or, like, go do this thing downtown more often. Like, it would just be about going places, not necessarily about buying things. That's the only thing right now that's a bit of a problem, is I'm like, Hunter, I would love to go out to eat with you, but I don't feel like that's okay, like, to spend, $50 or whatever it is, right, to go outside and eat somewhere. Like, I can't do that knowing that I'm living in my mom's house. And, like, all of that stuff, and, like, not, like, I don't have a real job. So that's the only thing that, like, makes me a little miserable and sad, is the fact that, like, I can't go out to eat, or, like, go do things, or I feel like I can't. It's not like somebody's telling me that I'm not allowed. I'm just saying that personally, I don't feel like that's justifiable, right? You gotta go out and have fun, but I'm like, Hunter, come here, we can have fun at home, right? So yeah, I'm not miserable, though. I will say, earlier, like 40 minutes ago, Calxiyn was talking about mental health, work-life balance. I can say, despite being unemployed, I was really depressed about it, like, for a long time, right? I was, if you follow me on Twitter, I've had a couple crash outs about being, like, just, like, depressed, right? And, like, feeling worthless, because they make you feel worthless, right? When you get rejections from these, like, jobs, and it's like, oh my god, it's fucking retail, and obviously I can do that. I even have retail experience, right? The job market is just really hard right now, where I live as well. And so even though I know that most of it's not my fault, like, it does make you feel worthless. But I can say, like, with confidence that for the last 3 months or so, I have felt consistently happy. Like, before, usually I would go through these periods of being like, okay, or like, I had a fun day today, but I know that tomorrow's gonna be miserable, like that sort of thing, right? But I have been, like, consistently happy for the last 3 months. And I think a lot of that has been Calxiyn Cares Too Much. And it's also been adjusting a couple things, right? So I have better Calxiyn Cares Too Much work-life balance, right? Like streaming Genshin instead of being here in the dungeon this entire time. But I think it's just because of the purpose that channel gives me. I feel fulfilled by that. I can say, hey, you may think that I'm not qualified to, like, work for you, who's getting, like, this company that's getting 200 views on their TikToks or whatever, but I made this, and I did it by myself. You're an established brand. You should be doing better than this. No shade. A little shade, right? So, I think that that's also part of it. Like, to see that I could make something successful and for it to be based off of me. Again, like, our reactions kind of live or die by the is it RWBY, is it whatever, right? But this was something that I'm like, people are coming here to hear what I have to say. Not just because, like, oh, it's another reaction to RWBY and I like RWBY more than I like you. Obviously, I think if I changed and pivoted, like, from Disney to Genshin, it would be a bit of a struggle for the Calxiyn Cares Too Much channel. But I do think that the way I've built that channel was smarter than the way I built this channel, because I positioned the brand on, like, Calxiyn Cares Too Much. It's not just, like, writer's block, or, like, what is it that, there's a channel and it's like the writer's craft channel or something. Like, it's not just about that where you're coming for just the advice. It's Calxiyn Cares Too Much, and you're not gonna find anyone who cares as much as Calxiyn, right? So I think that was very smart of me to do. But yeah, I'm still looking for jobs. Actually, I will say, I'm on a wait list for something that's really, really cool, and I can't really talk about it here. I will make a video about it when I'm off the wait list and I get the offer, but I should have led with that. I should have led that, like, very soon I will have potentially a really cool job, and it's like in between the dream job that she's talking about, like performing, but it's not exactly performing, but it kind of is. It's hard to explain, but basically I'm on the wait list. And so I don't have any news about that right at this moment. I was hoping I would get news about it before this video, but I'm on the wait list though. So that means they want me. They just don't have anything for me at this exact moment. And so I feel like I should be like pretty proud of that. And that is going to be an experience that I think is really going to be life-changing once I get it. And like hopefully, you know, the world doesn't explode before I get there. And so yeah, that is some good news. I kind of forgot about that. I should have led with that one, but yeah. The hope for this to be under an hour has gone away. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. It's gone. We're done.
I'm sitting here confused about how you could do that to yourself. Right now, as of recording this video, I have 20,000 subscribers and I just started a second singing channel. And I feel like that these two channels really reflect what I want most.
Right, the singing channel. I don't really do that anymore. Covers are hard on YouTube. They really are. I have so many friends and they're so good and they make so many amazing covers, but YouTube is just not built for that anymore, right? Like the people that are here, even the people that are here, here's what I'll say. Like, here's my random, like, diatribe about song covers and stuff like that, okay? The reason why I think people like Anna Pantsu are so successful, obviously, immensely skilled vocalist, and I don't say that to minimize her success. I actually think that this is very smart. What she did was provide something that no one else was doing, right? So she was doing gender-bent song covers. So that's really how, and it's a very subtle thing that you don't think about because, like, usually if I were to tell you guys that, you would think of, like, oh, golden, but it's epic metal or something. Like, you would think there has to be a very big twist, but that was a very small twist, and that's kind of how you have to market yourself as a cover artist on YouTube now, in my opinion. I don't know. It's not my niche, right? But that takes money, right, to make, if I wanted to be, like, musical theater cover of Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, right? Like, that would cost money to, like, have someone make a musical theater arrangement. Like, I would still be interested in doing singing stuff eventually, but I would have to have, like, a real job, I think. I would have to have a real job and be able to have money to pay people to do that sort of thing and, like, rebuild the brand, if that makes sense. And I probably would do it on that. Like, I would do a little twist, like, oh, it's this song, but it's a musical theater style, like pop song, but it's a musical, right? Or rewriting songs, like Wish and Snow White and all that stuff, which I do want to do, but again, time, money, all of that stuff. So what was the topic here? The singing channel? Oh, it reflects what we want to do. I think Calxiyn Cares Too Much was a natural evolution of that, and it's also, in a lot of ways, it's harder than just singing, but it's singing adjacent. I do karaoke there and stuff like that, so we haven't lost the singing, okay?
Right now, like, I love my YouTube channel, like my regular YouTube channel, but I also love to sing and I really want to perform. So those were like the two things going on right now.
Calxiyn Cares Too Much is a performance.
How many subscribers do you have on those two channels? How many followers do you have?
How many on the singing channel? I don't even know where the singing channel is, bestie. I don't know, but on this channel, it's almost 50K. I think it's 46K. On the Calxiyn Cares Too Much channel, it's 15K, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I think that that is a lot for like less than 2 years and the views that I keep getting. I think that like that is going to get me my silver play button. Like if I do another one of these and do it for like 10 years from now and upload it to the Calxiyn Cares Too Much channel, I would believe in 10 years that the Calxiyn Cares Too Much channel has 100,000 subscribers. So yeah, followers on other stuff, I'm like, bestie, why do you care? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Twitch is something that I've sort of been like on and off with right now.
I don't know.
Myself 1,900 maybe? Is there a new social media platform? Like,
yeah,
like a TikTok 2.0 star? Like, I can't even imagine
TikTok
that.
existed?
Are you more successful now? Did everyone forget about us? Is anyone even here? Is anyone even seeing this? Is YouTube still up? Are you a full-time YouTube?
That's funny, like, the fact that, like, oh, you know, is anyone even here, right? Because this video didn't get, like, a crazy amount of views or anything, you know what I mean? I think it's at, like, 500 views or something like that. Because, again, people subscribe for Digital Circus reactions. They're not gonna watch this unless they really like Hunter and I, right? But, yeah, I guess she did mention new social media, but we've talked about Calxiyn Cares Too Much already. Again, it's my pride and joy. It's the best thing I've ever done. Again, not just, like, oh, the views and the marketing and the branding. It was all so Galaxy galaxy brain, right? Like in a, not in like in a Lelouch from Code Geass sort of like strategy type way, like Machiavellian, is that what it's called? Anyway, it's not like it's like, oh yes, my master plan type way. It's just like, it's my pride and joy in terms of the community, in terms of the discussion. I feel like the comment section is really engaged. It's basically like how I wish, and we did talk about RWBY in that way on this channel with the live discussions, but like how I wish that we talked about things more than just RWBY, if that makes sense. Like, the amount of discussion and dissection I wish we could have applied to everything definitely happened on the Calxiyn Cares Too Much. Whereas, you know, I upload a Beastar's reaction now, and some people, they just want to see the reaction. They just want to see me cry. They don't want all that media analysis stuff, right? So I feel like that is really the big thing about Calxiyn Cares Too Much, for me, is that it feels like that right place, that the people there are interested in, again, the media analysis. And in a sense, they get a reaction element because, you know, Hunter and I had, like, reacted to the Snow White soundtrack live and stuff. So there's a reaction element, but the reaction is secondary. We're doing the reaction for the analysis. We're not just doing a reaction plus an analysis. And I think that's a big difference there. So yeah, Calxiyn Cares Too Much, not just, again, because of the subscribers and stuff. It's really the community and the purpose that I've been giving. But yeah, the VOD channel, though, is monetized and has 1,000 subscribers, so that's good. In some regards, that has been doing really well and better than Twitch, but I do multi-stream, so.
You're in streamer, or are you working in a show, or like a cruise, or a theme park? So I hope at least, like,
imagine
after
if I
COVID
did this
is done,
from the
you were
cruise.
able to audition for like some local theater and sort of
I have
build that side of your
auditions,
resume and then attend auditions. Like, I think that sounds really nice. I think posting song covers full time, that sounds really nice too. So I'd go for that. Like, I'd accept that. Like, if Calxiyn never got to a point where it could be like self-sufficient, but like maybe both of them combine, like the song cover channel and like this channel. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened, like, I think that's really nice too.
That is kind of what's happening, right? It hasn't happened yet, but for example, right, we're gonna react to Has Been Hotel Season 2 this month. That's like prime, like the reaction is here, but then the discussion and the song analysis is on Calxiyn Cares Too Much. I feel like that those things are gonna like feed into each other and like connect with each other really well. But yeah, it's kind of like that. I don't make enough to live on my own. I guess I'll just say that. I make good money if like you're living at home and you would use your money for fun, but I have too much of a guilty conscience to use my money for fun, so it just stays in my bank account. Does that make sense to you guys? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I have money, just probably not as much as she thought that I was gonna have. But yeah, the channel's together, right? It's, oh my god, my mom found, okay, so this is so random, but we have a Kindle that we got from, like, a dead person. I think that, like, it was a, what do you call it? Estate sale, right? So we have some old grandpa's Kindle, and it was like a multiple income stream book, because all of his books are still on the Kindle of this old man, and my mom was reading it, and I'm like, oh, that's what I do. Passive income, that's what it is. So yeah, it is kind of passive sometimes. Obviously, like, I still have to upload to get that money, but like other videos make money even long after I'm gone, if that makes sense. Like Digital Circus, like we uploaded that a while ago, and those still get like a couple money. A little money here, a little money there, it adds up after a while, right? Not that much, but like enough to buy Archie his little cat tree, right?
I'm trying to manifest being a YouTuber one half of the year, like say doing RWBY, and then being on contract in like Tokyo at that theme park I really want to work at for the other half of the year. That's sort of what I'm picturing in my head. Or maybe like after I go to Tokyo, I would just like become a vlogger or something like that. That's kind of what I'm imagining in my head.
My mom wants me to do that for the job that I alluded to, but I am not going to get specific about. She was like, you should become a vlogger. And I'm like, but won't we be in the exact same situation as Randolph, where then my mind's so in the vlogs that I'm not focusing on? But anyway, that was my mom's idea.
Jobs I want to apply for. That's where they are, and so that would be kind of cool to like do like a little vlogging series, like my new.
This is why we need a 10-year version of this. We have to combine.
Anyway, I'm sure you're going to explain like what you're doing for work now, but I'm still Calxiyn right now, and so I have Calxiyn questions. Are you doing videos with Hunter?
Yes.
Is Hunter not doing videos with you anymore because Hunter's finally a teacher?
I
wonder if you had to delete any videos because
Hunter's finally a teacher. Did I have to delete any videos? We'll save, like, Hunter can tell her story at like a later time. But yeah, Hunter Hunter's good. That's all I have to say. We still do videos together. Yeah, we do videos on Calxiyn Cares Too Much. What I really want to do with Hunter is like, which Disney kingdom would be the worst to live in as a peasant? And then we both have a PowerPoint and we both make our arguments. I want to bring Hunter over to Calxiyn Cares Too Much. But Hunter has been also thinking about starting her own video essay channel. And so I'm like, hey, you know, just come here, record it in my house. You know, like I have all the equipment. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to launch Hunter's YouTube journey. But yeah, we're still friends. We see each other. We're seeing each other later today if I can wrap this shit up, right? In a reasonable time, if I can wrap it up. This is like, I have to work first before I can see Hunter. That's the only thing. I'm sure I'll get to like, oh, you're friends and all that later. That's the only pain point right now, is that Hunter is very much like, I want to come see you in the afternoon type person, and I'm very much a come see me after 6 o'clock type person, because I need to like work first and grind, because if she comes in the middle of the day, I'll get sleepy and I'll never go back to work, right? So,
is gonna be a teacher? I doubt it, but I do wonder, is Ruby still around? Like,
yes.
We're going into volume 8 right now as I'm recording this.
Volume 8!
See Ruby going on to volume 13. I can see
God.
Ruby going on for that long, but Ruby might be over, and that is
Ruby's
terrifying
not
for
over.
you, sis. That is a terrifying thought.
Ruby's not over, okay?
Yeah,
if
this
Viz
is the last
Media has it. That's okay. She thought that we'd get further ahead, though, than, like, we actually are. This was volume 8. Like, we're going to, like, probably in, like, 2027 or something, we'll get volume 10. Like, she was a little too far ahead. You know what I'm saying? So,
Ruby, while you're watching this video, like, while you're responding to this, if Ruby is in its last season in 2025, I will literally—
That's crazy. We thought that Ruby would end in 2025. Like, even if things with Rooster Teeth didn't go the way they were, that's kind of a like, Cal, you were kind of crazy for that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the thought process was, but I guess Ruby was kind of at, like, almost, like, one volume every half a year, so I guess that would sort of make sense with, like, what this Calxiyn would be thinking, but I'm like, girl, I don't know who you thought, like, you know what I mean? I don't know who you thought was animating Ruby, that they were just gonna crank it out.
I may cry a little bit. I hope that there's
no reason to cry. There's no reason to cry yet. Obviously, Hunter and I are not doing very much Ruby content because there's nothing really to talk about, but we will do it, like, when we get volume 10 green lights. Also, that's why we haven't done anything with the Oscars, by the way. Somebody might comment on this and ask about the Oscars, okay? That's why Arnold and I, we have to make money. We need to live or we'll starve, okay? So I know, I understand, and we're still committed to doing it, and we have everybody's files, but, like, I can't prioritize something that I'm gonna upload on this channel and it's gonna get, like, 2K views, and all of our hard work is basically gonna be wasted because Ruby's not in season. Like, that's just the reality of it, you know?
Is there a spinoff, at least, maybe? Did anyone animate the Team Coffee books and the Team Sun books?
Oh wait, okay, so Team Coffee books existed, Roman Holiday did not, right? So we're not at Fox and Neo brain rot. That explains a lot.
C. Myers is okay.
He's okay.
Myers is okay and living his
I
best
don't know.
life if Ruby's over.
I think he's living his best life
right now. I really liked him doing the Ruby books, and so for Ruby,
yeah, he did another one.
That, you know, he's
right.
doing,
I'm
doing
sure he did fairy tale books
kind of worried
too.
about Arnold.
Right? He did fairy tale books. Kind of worried about Arnold. Was Arnold playing Genshin? Maybe Genshin, probably, this is 2020. Didn't Genshin start in 2020? So Arnold would have just started doing Genshin. Arnold is fine, bestie. Arnold is thriving. Like, out of all of us, Arnold is in the best position right now. He pivoted at the perfect time to cover something with so much longevity. Like, I regret that I didn't stick with Genshin. Obviously, I'm getting back into it now, but I'm like, damn, it could have been, like, Genshin and Calxiyn Cares Too Much, but it's just Calxiyn Cares Too Much and a little Genshin.
If Ruby is done, to be perfectly honest, I hope he didn't go broke. That's a nice way of me saying that I'm worried.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm sure that
he has
Arnold
more money
well.
than all of
I hope
us
that you helped him
combined.
pivot to, like, anime reactions or something.
I
so
hope
he's not, like,
I helped
you know,
him. Well,
homeless.
he is trying to do anime reactions too. But, like, Genshin has to be the priority, guys. It's like, at this point, people don't understand that, and people get on Arnold like, oh, you know, say you're gonna do this, this, and that, but then you fall off after a while. But, like, this is my beef about people that give Arnold shit. Can you really say that you are, like, working, whatever, 40 hours, let's just pretend it's 40 hours or, like, 60 hours or whatever, right? However long you work, and that you're pursuing your hobbies in your free time. Some of you might be. Some of you may be very, like, diligent, disciplined people, right? And, like, you know, get off from your shift and you're still practicing the tuba, or, like, you're reading or whatever. But the reality of life, right, because I have a lot of friends who are employed, is that these things tend to fall to the wayside when you have to focus on your job. You have to be very picky with the hobbies that you let yourself have, basically. So, like, what people don't understand is that when Arnold makes videos about RWBY and stuff, that's not his job. That's, like, the thing that he does because he wants to. Genshin is his job. So that's, again, you know, come for me if you want to, right? And, like, if you're like, well, if it's not his job, I don't need to give him money on Patreon. Like, that's fine. Just watch the videos when they're free. I'm not saying that you gotta pay for anything. I'm just saying that that's something that you gotta think about. And I hope that, you know, you guys watching this will think about that in regards to me. Calxiyn Cares Too Much is my full-time job. Any reactions that get uploaded to this channel, it's honestly a miracle. It's just Hunter and I really want to do it, or I feel bad because I made a promise and I'm trying to make good on the promises I made, like with a race and B-stars and stuff. But, you know, if there's a world with a different Calxiyn where I just said, fuck those things on my hard drive, right? Who cares? Nobody's watching them, so it doesn't matter. But it matters to me because Calxiyn is my hobby. It's my archive of all the anime that I've loved over the years and stuff like that. So even if not for you guys, I do still want to do it. But we can't always do the things that we want to do. So anyway, that was my heated thing about Arnold. Let Arnold be, okay? RWBY's not going anywhere.
What is going on at Rooster Teeth, sis? Like, is Genlock taking off? Did Genlock ever take off? Did they make something new that's a huge hit? Because right now, like, Genlock seems to have been confirmed, sort of, and then it kind of went on hiatus, and then they got a bunch of new writers and stuff, and so now it's kind of on the table, like, it's happening again. But, like, imagine, like, I don't know. I can't really imagine Genlock being, like, this explosive thing like RWBY was.
You can't. There's a reason.
It was, like, I hope so. Like, I hope we still have a job after RWBY is over. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Okay.
This is a hard one.
We do have a job after RWBY is over. Like, that's fine. We do have a job after RWBY, but that was hilarious. Like, what's going on at Rooster Teeth? Rooster Teeth, okay, well, here's the thing. Rooster Teeth exists, but not in the way that she's thinking, right? Rooster Teeth died, and then Bernie bought it because he didn't, you know, want his personal project to die, right? Like, he has personal projects he wants to do. He didn't want the brand and the thing he built to die, which, you know, we've made a video about all that and, like, my thoughts about that sort of stuff. But, yeah, Genlock did not take off. If anything, like, it's remembered in infamy as the thing that, like, killed RWBY and Rooster Teeth. That people blame, whether it's justified or not, people blame Genlock as this, like, the singular thing that, like, destroyed RWBY, because there was all that stuff that I'm not gonna get into, but, like, you know, people will be like, oh, but, like, Volume 5 got shafted because of Genlock, and, like, Genlock cost so much money, and they spent so much money on voice actors, and, you know, sponsoring YouTubers who, by the way, didn't give a fuck about Rooster Teeth when we were all right here and we had never been sponsored. That's my Rooster Teeth, beef, if anyone's wondering. They sponsor that guy that does those, like, Disney Channel, oh my god, this thing was really weird, and I love that guy. His name's Alex Myers, isn't it? Anyway, I love him, but, like, what the fuck, Rooster Teeth? Like, you're sponsoring this YouTuber and not the people, like, that, you know, actually get you traction. Like, even Eruption Fang would have been a better choice, you know, if I'm thinking about YouTubers at that time to convince people. But I guess their thought process was, oh, but, like, we don't need to pay Calxiyn and Arnold and all these other YouTubers because Rooster Teeth fans will automatically be interested in watching Genlock. But that wasn't fucking true. That wasn't true. You needed us. You didn't understand it at the time, but you did. Actually, you never had to make Genlock in the first place. That's really the thing. You never had to do it. It shouldn't have existed. They should have prioritized building out RWBY as a brand, right? And hopefully Viz will do that, right? This does really want, like, I want to make a 10-year video because some of her questions, and I guess that's just a matter of life, but some of her questions are not getting a very clear answer because RWBY hasn't ended, right? So I can't speak on that. I don't have a job yet, so I can't speak on that either. Like, there are some things, like, there are questions that have gone unanswered here, so I am kind of interested in making another one. I would probably do it to Calxiyn Cares Too Much, though. And have it be a bit more performing-centric. I'd have to think about it, basically, but...
Is Miraculous Ladybug around? Because Miraculous New York just came out. We just finished season 3. Sort of. We finished season 3 last year, but season 4 isn't out yet. I feel like Miraculous is definitely going to be done in 5 seasons. Like, I feel like there could be a spin-off, but we're already on season 3.
It's not done!
And so it's like, if it only goes to 5 seasons, like,
dear.
You know what I mean? Like, I cannot see Miraculous being around for 5 years, or else
Miraculous
it's like,
is,
8
outlived
seasons? Is
RWBY
that
in a
correct?
sense, right?
I
RWBY's
hope you
not dead,
handled
but
that well
RWBY's
and
not
found something that
alive.
equally fills your heart, but please tell me what the,
It
like,
does.
what happened to Miraculous Ladybug? Like, when did it end?
I don't
that
know.
sort of stuff. Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
what
I'm pretty
happened
sure
with
it's gonna be
Miraculous.
ended in
I don't
5 years.
I don't
That's
watch it anymore. It did not end it. It's hilarious what I think would have ended and like what I think would have still been going. What I think would have still been going? Yeah. You guys know what I mean. Like, that's crazy. Like, what are you talking about? I can't believe she thought that they would end Miraculous. Like, Miraculous is the cash cow and the gift that keeps on giving. I don't really watch it anymore. Again, right? I need to be picky about what I react to because this channel is now a hobby. It's not a job. And Miraculous, it gets views, but it's not that high on my, personal list, if that makes sense. As opposed to like, yeah, we obviously have to do Has Been Hotel and stuff like that. That makes a lot more, sense. If the opportunity presents itself, I would like to do something for Miraculous. Like, I would like to keep going, because I don't like leaving things unfinished, right? But I don't know if this would have happened back then. They used to be pretty supportive, let's call it that, right? Because I don't want to get into the legal stuff. They used to be pretty supportive of us doing reactions that are like, say, Hell of a Boss, where we can just show the footage and the audio, and they understood that that was not cutting into their profit margin, because you're not watching a reaction to watch the episode. You're watching a reaction to see what other people think about the episode you already have watched, right? Like, you're not, it would be the same as, like, say, like watching Lilo and Stitch for the first time, right? Like, that's not cutting into Disney's fucking profits. It's not. People are not going into that having never seen Lilo and Stitch before. They're not. They have clearly seen it before. That's why they're watching your reaction. Anyway, so Miraculous changed their policy, so I actually had to get rid of a bunch of my Miraculous videos up until when I started to edit them. I think that would have been season 3. So unfortunately, we kind of lost a couple. Like, we lost the reaction to Master Fu. I think we lost some reactions to Cat Blanc. I still have them on my hard drive, so I guess I could clip those moments and make them like YouTube shorts or something. We lost Marinette revealing to Alia that she was Ladybug. Season 4 still had some great moments and stuff, but like, it's really sad because I remember I recorded that Master Fu episode when I went to see Arnold, so that's like 2019, 2018, I think. And it's unfortunate because I was crying and it did so well in terms of views and stuff. But like, yeah, they just they changed their mind, basically. Like, I sent them an email like, hey, what's going on? And their legal guy was like, yeah, I know that's what we told you, but like, things are different now, bestie. And like, you're not gonna get a copyright strike though. But like, I kind of couldn't trust them on that because if you change, it's like Genlock. I don't know if the Genlock thing happened either. Wait a minute. So, oh, that reminds me. Oh, the phone is ringing. Who is calling our house? No one ever calls anymore. Anyway, so yeah, that's the thing about Genlock is that Genlock changed hands and a bunch of us got copyright strikes for videos that we were previously allowed and encouraged to make. I was afraid the same thing that happened with Genlock would happen to Miraculous, so they had to go. Like, I couldn't risk it, right? So now, I'm pretty sure the only thing that remain are like my highly edited videos, because that I feel more confident in fighting for fair use. Technically, it's all fair use, right? But like, I wanted the most, like, airtight as possible. You know what I'm saying, you guys? You know what I mean? Technically, all reactions should be fair use, but like, it's the amount that you can argue it, and I felt like I have more confidence in arguing the edited reactions and then also the way that I do my reactions now where there's no audio and it's like the footage in the corner and the subtitles at the bottom, right? And like you have to press play and sync up. Like that feels like a much stronger argument. But you know, we have Has Been Hotel, we have Hell of a Boss, like Digital Circus, these companies that are more forward thinking and their shows also get more views anyway, right? Like Digital Circus and stuff like that. So like, you know, there is a new generation of animation where that's not the norm anymore. Like Glitch is not gonna go around copyright striking people, I don't think.
Easy. So I'm sure lots of new anime have come out in 5 years, but the shows that are my favorite right now are Beastars Kaguya-sama Love is War, which is on its 2nd season, The Promised Neverland, which is on season 1, Beastars season 2 is coming out in 2021,
Promised Neverland
so
season 2!
Tell me about those, sis. Like, I feel like that they could have ended in 5 years, but it also depends on how far along the manga is. Like, sometimes anime take really long breaks, so
right.
I hope that you found more cartoons, because that's always been my worry, like, me right now, is, like, when RWBY ends or Miraculous ends, like, you can't make theories about anime. You can't.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
You could.
No.
The problem is the manga always exists to crush your dreams, you know?
Right.
And so, like, from my perspective, I've always
Digital
been sort
Circus,
of, you know, trying
right,
to figure out,
has
like,
been.
oh, I need to, like,
So
jump
we've
to a
talked
cartoon,
about
because
that.
that's the only way I can continue making theories about stuff. Maybe live action TV, like, did you pivot to live action
No.
stuff, Cal?
No live
I don't
action.
know.
I hate
yeah,
live
but I hope that you
action
found a way to
acting.
cover anime that,
No.
like, fits in with what you want to do, that works for you. I kind of have an idea of how I want to cover anime to make it, like, better on my channel and all that stuff, but
I don't know what
I'm
that
just a
would have
little-
been.
I'm just a little
Maybe
scared.
it was the
because-
editing?
Did you react to Legend of Korra? Because
No.
you're supposed to. But I don't know, like, in 5 years, like, I'm pretty sure in 5 years you probably did.
No,
I kind
I
of hope that
didn't.
you pivoted to gaming, because
I
that
got
sort of makes the
busy.
most sense.
I'm
I know that I'm in
sorry.
control, and I should probably make that.
Oh, Korra. Yeah, that is something that I want to do. I will say, though, like, I'm surprised I would mention those specific anime, just because I don't remember being, like, obsessed with Love is War, compared to, like, Beastars is still going, obviously, but, like, I react to a lot of anime, like, they're just one and done, like, Odd Taxi, Miki and Dally, like, that sort of stuff, so I'm surprised that I mentioned the specific anime, but I guess I thought that those anime, especially, oh, pour one out for fucking Promise Neverland, Jesus Christ, I guess I assumed that that would be, like, oh, something that we're always going, like, how for some people they do My Hero Academia and stuff, like, I'm assuming that I thought that Promise Neverland would be, like, My Hero Academia. No, Promise Neverland Season 2. Oh boy. I mean, but like I've said, we found other shows, so I've already talked about that.
If I want to, but I kind of hope that you did that, because you can theorize on games, and games usually
That's
allow
true.
for reactions. And speaking of my favorite games, Kingdom Hearts should definitely be around in 5 years, like maybe
It
even the next Kingdom Hearts installment,
No!
to be honest, is coming out when you're watching this.
Oh,
Melody of Memory is a
no.
month away, so like I can see Kingdom Hearts 4 coming out sometime in the next 5
No!
years, or even by the time you're watching this, maybe the next
What
one's
were
coming
these
out. I don't know.
expectations?
Oh, maybe Persona. That would
What
actually
was
be
the
really
sense of
interesting. If Persona
time?
like 6
No!
because like I don't think they've been actively developing the next Persona installment. I don't know.
Why
like,
would
at this
I
current
think
time.
this? Did I have
But
no
yeah, I can see in
concept of
5
how
years, like, because
long
Persona 5
stuff
was
takes?
delayed a lot.
Like, this isn't fucking Disney that's releasing a new animated movie every year. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess Kingdom Hearts, I don't know if Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced at this point. Like, I guess with Kingdom Hearts it's kind of reasonable because they did announce it, and so we kind of thought that we would be getting more than we've gotten, but oh boy, no! I have pivoted to games though. I mean, I stream Twisted Wonderland, and I do Genshin, and I'm not caught up on Genshin, so Cal, that had desire in her heart to theorize, like, that hasn't happened exactly. But, like, yes, pivoting to games does make more sense when those games update, you know, every once in a while, like a TV show, and so you can theorize in between. Like, Arnold has tons of Genshin theories. I mean, I have Genshin theories, too. It's just I'm dealing with, like, 2-year-old information, so.
See in 5 years, like, Persona 6 maybe not coming out yet, but, like, I don't know, like, definitely, like,
Oh,
announced
boy.
or something. It took me 2 years to finish, like, regular Persona 5, so I wonder if, like, did you play Persona 4 yet? Like,
No.
did you finish it?
No,
I hope you finished it, 'cause, like, I don't know if you
This is something like, again, free time, right? What I'm trying to do right now is one variety game, Twisted Wonderland Genshin, right? But even the one variety game, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it sometimes does get chopped, like, from my schedule because of Calxiyn Cares Too Much, right? These videos, the Calxiyn Cares Too Much videos, take a ridiculous amount of time to edit, like, a truly ridiculous amount, where I'm, like, working on, like, stuff for, you know, 10 hours a day and, like, everything, right? So I haven't been great with the games, but I will say I'm proud of myself because I made the VOD channel. I archived everything. It took months to archive Genshin and Twisted Wonderland and to export them all, right? And to finally let go of this idea of, like, oh, people will only watch you if it's, like, highly edited, because I burnt out of highly editing my gaming content. I've talked about that I made this video, like, Twitch is destroying our memories or something. Like, I made a dramatic video when Twitch decided that they would have a limit on the highlights or storage or whatever. But yeah, I am proud of myself though. That was another thing I was worried about, was like, I really have to make sure I stick to my promises, or else, like, when I do this video, right, Calxyn's gonna call me out in 4K for not sticking with the gaming. But I did, and I recovered, and I've been streaming consistently. But it did take a long time to get there because the VOD channel and getting all of that stuff archived, like, my computer would be rendering for, like, 8 hours, right, and stuff would be crashing because Twisted Wonderland Book 6 is, like, 13 hours long, right? So I was sometimes procrastinating on it. Like, I probably could have gotten it done faster, but the fact that I got it done at all, and again, I finally let go of this toxic, like, you need to spend 14 hours editing Hades, right? Like, I had to drop that. I don't know if she was doing that right now, right? Because she's talking about Melody of Memory, which I did edit for this channel, right? I edited my reaction to the ending, but that's very different compared to, like, something like Hades or Genshin, right? Where it may be like you're editing a 6-hour VOD. Like with Kingdom Hearts, it's like, okay, you know where the cutscenes are. You're posting your reaction to the cutscenes. You know, and so it's not like I'll never post edited gaming content on this channel again, like on Calxiyn. It's just like, it has to make sense, right? Again, reaction, like my ending to Persona 5 Royal reaction, like did well, like it needs to be like less like let's play and more like reaction to cutscene, reaction to moment, I think. Because like, again, Hades was taking like 28 hours to edit a single Hades VOD. Maybe I'm just a really bad editor. You guys can let me know. And I take too fucking long. But it's because I would do one pass where it was cutting out everything that I didn't want in the video, and then another pass being funny. And being funny is a lot of keyframes and takes a lot of time, and that's why Calxiyn cares too much videos take a lot of time. So yeah, edited gaming got the chopping block a while ago. But people like leave me comments saying, hey, I came here from your edited Twisted Wonderland and I like this better. Like I like it better that it's just you and the game and you're not like zooming in and doing camera shakes and all of that. So maybe cope. I don't think it's copium. I think that people do.
I don't know if you can do it in 5 years, to be honest, considering how long vanilla took, and I've heard that Persona 4 is harder.
I would like
anything else that I didn't ask about because I don't know that it's happening yet. Like, tell me how the channel has changed and stuff like that. If anything unexpected has happened with the channel, like maybe you're a fucking like food blogger or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we've kind of covered this already.
Years, I'm still
like
gonna like games and anime and cartoons and all that stuff. It'd be kind of weird if
nothing has really changed with Calxiyn. We're just like lying in wait. Like basically, like we're waiting for Has-Been Hotel and Twisted Wonderland. That's what we're gonna react to this month. So like it's gonna be okay.
You didn't. So yeah, like tell me what happened. Like
you guys hear that?
Tell me what happened with the singing channel. All
I
that
want
stuff.
this to be an hour 30 minutes.
For some love life questions.
Oh gosh.
Right now, I've been dating Arnold for over a year and a half.
Okay.
We've known each other since RTX 2018. If you're still with Arnold, I'm gonna hope, like, please tell me that you are engaged. Because like, 6 years of being together, because we just had our 1 year anniversary.
Arnold!
So 6 years of being together and not being engaged.
Wow! That's crazy!
You did not move to the United States.
Oh
Please
my god. Oh no, I
Canada,
didn't. Of course not.
I do not want that for myself. I do not want the United States for myself.
I don't want it for you either.
Speaking of Canada, did Arnold ever visit Canada?
Yes!
Even if you aren't together anymore, did he
yes,
come once?
yes,
That you guys
he
were
wouldn't
able
have
to go to
visited
some places
yet.
together again, even if you're not together anymore, because like I know we wanted to go to Japan and we wanted to go to Disney.
Oh, we did go on a Disney cruise. Okay. I will address the engagement
and so,
thing.
You know, like regardless of what happened, I hope that you guys had like some fun vacations and memories together.
We're still together.
If not just so he got to experience.
She was
those
being
things,
very
already,
optimistic,
like, gone to Disney,
right?
obviously.
But like I've been friends with all my exes, so in my mind it was like, okay, so we're either still together or we're friends and we still had a fun time. Like I'm still friends with Hunter, obviously, still friends with Al, so yeah, that makes sense that she's like, oh, well, hopefully still Arnold got to experience those things, because I would still care about Arnold as a friend. The engagement thing, though, is crazy. So here's the thing. We're not officially engaged to each other. However, all I'll say is that we are in the process of figuring out how to get Arnold here permanently, right? And so that may be like he moves here on a specific, you know, boring technical such and such, and then we get married, or it may be like we get married and he moves here. So we've kind of skipped the whole like, oh, engagement on the Disney cruise, like in the sunset in the background, like all of that stuff. Like we've kind of skipped the engagement thing and we're trying to plan out like, okay, well, how are you here permanently? And him being here permanently is inevitably going to lead to marriage, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? So not engaged, but like if Arnold is committed to like leaving his entire life behind, I would say that that's better than an engagement ring. You know what I mean? Because it's not an easy thing to do. So that's basically, again, it's either going to be like, it's like we're married, right? I guess common law or whatever you would call it, or we are going to get married. to make sure everything is straight and we're on the proper, you know, legal, whatever.
You guys ever go
right?
anywhere? Did you guys go on the Disney cruise
We
that
did
your
go
mom
on a
promised you when you
cruise.
graduated?
Yes,
that she
I
does
got
not
it.
think is happening in 2021. I'm
It
just
was
hoping
not.
that they'll reopen Cruise Line and that they'll just make you like take a test before you get. You know
They
what I mean?
did do
Before you
that,
get
but we
on and
didn't
all
go
that
because I
stuff.
was
So,
in
like, the
school.
cruise
But we
line will,
did
like,
go
reopen
when I
again. My mom does
graduated
not
the
think that
second
that's happening this year,
time.
but did you get to go eventually? In 5 years, please tell me that you got to go on a Disney cruise and went to Disney
Oh
World.
my God,
So,
it was
yeah,
awesome.
closing my eyes and visualizing that Disney vacation with Arnold, my mom, and my sister. I think
Okay,
that would
my
be
mom and my sister weren't there. They didn't come with us. But this is really interesting actually to like watch now because I'm like, she's saying, "Oh, I'm manifesting it." And I'm like, you did manifest it. That's crazy. Like everything that she's talking about, like this, like, oh, you know, if you have a job, I don't wish that for you and all of that stuff. Like she did manifest. She manifested the cruise. She manifested me doing more school. Like she said that she was thinking about doing more school. She manifested like another YouTube channel. Like she said, oh, if it's not the singing channel, like, do you have another channel? Like she did. This is kind of scary because she did manifest it. She kind of did. That's
really
nuts.
nice thought. Or with Arnold and our friends, because our friends from RTX were actually planning a Disney trip this year.
Yeah, that I don't
And then it
know
didn't
anything
happen,
about.
Obviously. Yeah, so did you guys break up? Back to
No!
not breaking up with Arnold, though.
That was so
let's talk about, like,
crazy.
real life friends, because if you and Arnold are engaged, who is coming to your wedding if Hunter is your only real life friend?
Wow!
I hope that you made like more
Oh
friends. Like
my
I've really amazing
God,
online
that's
friends. Like the people
so
I've met at RTX.
rude. Why
Honestly,
would
like
you
I can think of like 10 people I would love to have at
That's
my wedding,
not
like as friends.
nice.
But I hope that you made other friends, especially because like for me, I just really wanted to go into this university semester like trying to be more outgoing and more friendly.
Yeah, but
and
you were
trying to make more
online.
connections with people before I
You
graduated.
were
but then
online,
COVID,
bestie.
like tossed
Oh,
all
that's
that
what
aside,
she's-
I guess. And so
she's
I'm just
saying.
hoping like I
Oh.
was able to make friends somewhere. And like even like I said before that I want to do more local theater after, you know, all of this is done. Like I could make like theater friends. That sounds so nice. Now to move on to some family questions. Are you
Here's the thing, okay? I would like to defend myself. First of all, yes, Hunter is the only real life friend I see on a regular basis. But here's the thing. I want to have a Disney wedding and have it just be like my close friends and family. If RTX was still going on, like it's too bad because I would have loved to have like a wedding party and have it be over RTX and so Arnold and I could see all our friends because there are people, you know, like Robin and Dan and all of these people, and even like, you know, the new friends that I've met through Calxiyn Cares Too Much. Like there are people that like I would invite to my wedding. But like a Disney cruise wedding is expensive for you know people, and also like that it would be equally as expensive to be like, you know, hey Eddie Revis, do you want to come to Arnold and I's wedding in Canada, right? Or Robin or Dan, like I already said, like all these people that we've met all across the world now. You know, we have friends that are in the military too, and they move around, right? So it's just not, if RTX was still happening, having a party after we're already married would have been a really interesting idea because there are definitely people, or like Aaron, right? RWBY animator Aaron, not Blake voice actor Aaron. So like there are definitely people that I'd be like, yes, I do want you to be at my wedding because you're Arnold and I's friends, even if we don't see you as often. But like that's probably not, like that's not the situation. Like, you know what I mean? That's probably not the situation. I think what's gonna happen is that Arnold and I are probably gonna have like a small ceremony here in Canada somewhere, like at City Hall or something, like, you know, something like that. And we're gonna be married. And then in the future, when we have money, we're gonna do like the Disney cruise wedding with the white dress and everything. Just because for us to finally be together, it's more practical to do things that way. So yeah, the friend thing was diabolical. I would love to have more friends. The problem is that the friends I did make in musical theater school, like for the record, I did make friends. They moved, right? They went back home. Not all of them lived in Toronto. There are still people in Toronto that really I should make the effort to go and see them. But I see one of my friends from school at auditions all the time. She goes to the same auditions I do, so I still see her, you know. So it's not like, you know, I'm totally friendless. But yeah, life is just so busy that like Hunter is really the only person I see on a regular basis. And that's kind of all I need. You know what I mean? Obviously, I do want to talk to people. I want to hear new perspectives. I don't just want to be like, it's me and Hunter forever and ever and all that stuff. But like, that's just what happens when you're unemployed and you don't have work friends to talk to and all of that sort of thing, right? Like, everyone has their own lives going on. It's not the same as, like, everybody's hopping on Minecraft, right? Like, it probably was during 2020 when everyone was at home. And, you know, when we were kids and stuff. But, like, I still stay in touch with, like, Al, right? I still stay in touch with Al. We talked, like, a few days ago, actually. We had, like, a lengthy conversation about a couple of things. And so, like, we're definitely still talking to people. We're meeting new people, right? I've met new people doing Calxiyn Cares Too Much stuff, like Bobby and Merman, right? To like other Disney content creators and stuff, and I'm still meeting new people all the time. And so yeah, I think that, like, it's okay. You don't need to have the big Italian wedding, okay? Those days are, I think, unfortunately, that sort of died with, like, our grandparents' generation. Do you know what I mean? Like, giant Christmases and giant Easters and, like, all that stuff. Like, I don't think that that's gonna carry over in our generation, just because it's just not like that anymore, you know? Obviously, like, I still see my cousins, right? So in that sense, I think that we'll always, you know, get together and stuff like that. But even, like, one of my cousins is abroad right now. She's studying in France, right? So it's just, like, life happens, you know? It's been very convenient all this time that my family has been in the same province and lived in the same place. But there are tons of people who, like, their family, they live in, like, British Columbia or in the US or, like, completely different places. And so we're not having the big Italian wedding because not everybody lives so close. Oh my gosh, you scared the crap out of me. Goodness gracious, he's sad about it too. He wants to have a big party, apparently. Hi, Archie. I don't know what you're so mad about. I'm so sorry. He hates when I record. He hates it. He hates when I spend time down here. At first I thought, like, is there, like, mold in the walls? Is he trying to warn me or something that I'm gonna die if I stay in here? I don't know why. He just hates it when I'm in here. Even if I, like, give him attention and, like, I try to hold him and, like, do my work with it, he hates me working. This cat does not dream of labor. No, you don't. I know, and it's so sad, but your mommy has to work or else how is she gonna get you the beautiful cat tree? Oh my god, look at him, guys. He's so cute. Oh my god, okay, we have to keep going.
Still living with your mom. Did you ever get a house? Like, are you renting? Do you have an apartment? Like, what's going on?
What?
Did she ever quit her job?
Did I think that I was gonna move out? What was that about? I know, even Archie, you know, can't believe it. He can't believe the audacity. No, this is gonna be like, Arnold and I are gonna live here probably until we die. The housing is so bad in Ontario, and you know what? This is our home anyway. I would love to take care of my mom how she took care of my grandparents, you know? And so I don't see that as, like, a failure, like, oh, did you rent your own apartment? Do you have your own house? I would love to have my own house if the financial situation permitted it, because I have a very different, like, fashion sense and, like, taste, and I would want certain things, but, like, I will not be, like, you know, on my deathbed thinking, man, I really wish we had gotten our own place. Like, this is my home. Like, this is our home. You know, this is Arnold's home, too. So, yeah, I don't know what doll she's talking about.
She really wanted to quit her job during quarantine, and,
she
like,
wanted
I hope that for her.
Oh my god! Is that okay for me to say in a public YouTube video that she oh my god, I'm gonna have to call her and tell her that I don't remember saying that. That's kind of, like, borderline mortifying. She actually, how do I explain this in a way that's, like, sort of still keeping the privacy? The company was acquired and they let people go. Like, what is it when not venture capital, maybe? Like, equity firms or something? Like, when they, like, private investor, that's what it is. Anyway, so she's not working at where she was working. That's hilarious. She wanted to quit her job. I don't know if my mom remembers that. I'm gonna have to call her.
Is Jay graduating? Jay is my sister, if you guys don't know. Is she still in school? Like, what is she doing?
Did
she ever teach you how to dance for the auditions? Because that is something that I've really been pushing for lately. She kind of did lessons for my sister, so I at least have
like
more,
not
like
in a dance lesson way,
stuff for my
but
auditions.
Like,
yeah, I can't really think of anything
I
else.
got a proper teacher for my auditions. So yeah, my sister is, in school, she's thriving, you know, she's going to teacher's, school, right? So that's why we were thinking about sending me to teacher's school to get my teachables or whatever. But yeah, like, she's good. I don't know what Calxiyn was expecting, but yeah, no, she hasn't graduated by now, though. Her thing was, like, always 6 years, so that's a, non-accurate, like, time, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't have a sense. This whole video is Calxiyn has has no sense of how long things take. Like, that's this entire video. Like, did you find your own apartment? Like, are you fucking crazy? Right? But see, this Calxiyn didn't know that I would be in school till 2023. So, like, the stuff that she's talking about, I'm thinking about it in the sense of, like, Cal, like, that was only 2 years. You only graduated 2 years ago. You thought you were gonna get married and do all of that only, like, in 2 years, less than 2 years. But I get it from her perspective because she's thinking about it like I would have already had a job. So I guess that that's why this is happening. But no excuse for thinking that Persona 6 was gonna come out, you know?
Cousin, I think my eldest cousin will be graduating high school. So, like, what is she doing? Like, is she going
graduated
into,
high school
like,
a long
you know,
time
is she
ago,
going
bestie.
into university or something
Bad.
like that? And I think my
Very
youngest cousin
bad
will actually be graduating
memory.
high school too. So tell me what they're doing. Tell me how
Bad
they grew up.
memory. Yeah, one of my cousins is in France, and the other one is not graduated yet. I don't know. They've been growing up like they're good people. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, nothing crazy. It's not like, oh, you know, my cousin's like a big, you know, celebrity food YouTuber. Like, there's no crazy news. It's just normal, right? They're good people. We talk. We all have a little cousin group chat. You know, it's good. They're thriving. They're intelligent. They're kind, they're, you know, very, again, like, diligent people. Like I said, my cousin's abroad right now. My younger cousin's wrapping up high school. So yeah, I don't know what she was thinking in terms of asking this question, I guess.
So, I'm kind of afraid to bring up my grandfather.
No!
Just because.
See, I knew that. And see, okay, so this is how you can tell that this was recorded on Thanksgiving, because I basically snuck downstairs to do this while Thanksgiving was going on upstairs. Again, the YouTube work-life balance, non-existent, you know? So you can tell in how, like, I snuck around and I didn't want anyone to hear me talking about that. I knew that was coming. That's what, like, an hour and a half ago, right? When you guys, if you guys have even gotten this far, an hour and a half ago when I was like, I do know I talked about one thing very, like, in particular, because I remember talking about it and being, like, worried about it being brought up. That was what I was talking about.
He's like already 92, and I'm a little skeptical of him still being
skeptical.
around in 5 years.
That's
like, my mom is like,
crazy.
Don't worry, Calxiyn, like, he'll live until 100, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and so I want to tread a little carefully just because, you know,
and
like,
I look
don't
so
wanna bring up any sad stuff
too,
like for my future self. I'm already having
She's
a hard
so
time
sad
with
already.
it right now when he's still alive, right? So yeah, I guess what I just wanted to ask is, it's always been sort of my dream for Nono to walk me down the aisle, like, at my wedding, or at least have him approve of, like, whoever I'm supposed to marry and stuff. I know that's
yes.
a fashion thing, but that's sort of always been, like, my dream, you know? And I'm just afraid
down
that,
the aisle,
like,
no.
Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm not ready to get married at, like, if I'm turning 21, right? Like, I'm not ready to get married at 22, right? And so it's one of those things where it's like, I would be ready to get married in 5 years, but is he still going to be around in 5 years? And that's also why, like, I wanted, you know, Arnold to come here and meet him and, like, all that sort of stuff. And just the world situation has sort of put that all out of whack. So, I guess what I want to say is that I just hope, like, no matter what happens, like, maybe, like, you're watching this and you're like, Calxiyn, like, relax, he's still alive, you know, like, while you're responding to this, but I hope, like, no matter what happens, like, I just really hope that you didn't mentally shut down, because whenever I imagine it, like, I don't know if I've told you guys this in 5 years, but I have, like, really, like, intrusive thoughts, I guess, and, like, it's one of those things that, like, I lie awake and before I go to bed at night, I just imagine
I brought
it
that up because
I just can't stop crying.
I only realized that I had intrusive thoughts, like, recently. So, like, oh my gosh, guys, this is the worst time. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So, that's interesting because I only realized that I have, like, OCD a couple years ago because, like, I basically had, like, sort of a tee-hee funny moment at Randolph where I was like, yeah, I do this, it's kind of silly, and, like, the person I was talking to was like, do you always do stuff like that? And I was like, oh yeah, why? Right? So in this case, it was like, I always wear a hood when I go outside because I don't want a bird to poop on me, and I don't want to be, like, out somewhere with my curly hair and have to deal with the hair poop, and, like, if I can't have a hood, I'll have, like, an umbrella, like, if I'm in a dress or something. So that's interesting that she's using the words intrusive thoughts, because to me, that's, like, a recent discovery about myself, but, like, I must have forgot. I don't know. Like, I guess it's reasonable to have intrusive thoughts about someone dying. So I guess that's, like, why I wouldn't have thought anything of it, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, someone's calling the house again. No one ever calls. I'm gonna believe that that's No calling the house because he's like, hey, you know, please, you don't need to cry in the YouTube video.
And I imagine myself just sobbing and sobbing for days because I just don't know how I'm gonna handle it.
That did happen.
I'm gonna handle it well. So it is something that, you know, really does concern me, I guess, like my mental state after that, because he is basically like my father, you know what I mean? He's my grandfather. He does all the grandfather things, but he also sort of filled that void of fatherly things too. I do have, I guess, a little closing statement about that, and I just want to say, like, RTX 2019 and 2018, that is really when my life changed, and I have been getting better ever since, like, better mentally each year, constantly improving, constantly evolving who I am as a person. Like, I've just become a happier person. That RTX just really changed me. It broke me out of my shell, and it sort of, you know, it almost told me who I really wanted to be, like being around all these other people, and like, I don't know, just having to hide parts of myself for so long in high school and things like that, like going to RTX and being around people like me, it really sort of made me feel free,
like modern Calxiyn
and I think, you know, I have better coping skills now, obviously, and so I'm just hoping that something hasn't really hurt you, because I remember how hurt I felt around high school, and I got through it, and, you know, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that, you know, we got through it once, we're in a great, you know, better place, like, mentally and all that stuff. It's not perfect, right? I don't think anyone's mental health is perfect. It's always something that you have to keep improving upon. So even if something did happen, like, I believe in you. You know, like, no matter what. If life didn't go as planned, even if something really bad happens, like, I feel like that people are rooting for you, and it's important to sort of remember that now, right? Like, I believe in you. I'm rooting for you. And I know that, hopefully, you know, people will still be rooting for you, too. Like, even if this platform is gone, you still have your family. You'll still have your friends, or maybe even new friends. And I just have hope, I guess. And I guess this is how I'm ending this now. I have never wanted to be alive as much as I want to be alive right now. I'm 20 years old.
Let's go. Okay. I'll talk about the first part and then we'll let her finish. I feel like that if I had seen this a couple months ago, I would have just broken down in tears, like sobbing. Like, I would have been inconsolable. But she's kind of right. Right? It's like how I said earlier that I've been consistently happy for 3 months straight, and that's like a record. As opposed to like having happy times but then dreading the next day. I think, yeah, a couple months ago, I think hearing that would have just, like, I would have been sobbing and I would have been crying. But yeah, I am just in a better place now. Unfortunately, yeah, it was... Here's the thing that's really difficult, I think, about, like, what she just said, is that when my grandfather passed away, it wasn't expected. He wasn't sick, you know, it's not like with my grandmother where it had been, like, a long time that she had been ill and we all kind of knew it was gonna happen. It was, like, one day he was here and the next, like, in that night, right, he was gone, and we all expected him to live longer than he did. That's what's hard about this, is that, like, from my perspective now, my mom and I were right. Like, this Calxiyn had no reason to be worried, because that was, like, you know what I mean? He was never sick or anything. This Calxiyn, like, you shouldn't have had those intrusive thoughts. He was, like, you know, in better health than, like, some, like, you know, people my age that I know. But this Calxiyn was ultimately correct, and I think that that's, like, the screwed up thing about it, is that there was no reason why she should have been right. What I think this Calxiyn meant, which was, oh, he's gonna get more sick over time, right? And that's gonna be a hard thing to see. I guess now I can say, though, that I'm glad that he wasn't sick, and I'm glad that he didn't suffer. But yeah, I wasn't okay for a long time, and I kind of alluded to that earlier when I said I was too depressed to do the reactions. And I was, like, crying myself to sleep every night, and I was having nightmares, because, like I mentioned in the video I made after he passed away, Arnold and I were here, and Arnold did CPR, and I watched it happen, right? So, it wasn't just that he died, it was how he died. It was that all of us were here, that he died in the house, right? And, like, just looking around the house and seeing those frames of what had happened, sorry, I didn't think I was like, guys, I'm not gonna cry, I'm okay now, I'm mentally healthy, right? That 5 seconds ago, I was like, yeah, this would have made me cry, but, I guess it's more talking about it, but you know what, it was hard for, like, a year and a half, and there was just, like, and there was this darkness that was just engulfing everything, and it wasn't getting better, and it wasn't going away. how you think that like healing will go, right? You think like, oh, well, every day it'll get better. It didn't, not for a very long time. And I lost my passion to write, you know, even songwriting, which I had started to do in school, right? And I felt very passionate about. Even songwriting felt impossible because I was just like, well, what's the point? Like, nothing felt creative anymore. Everything felt like, well, this is a means to an end. I can't pay a songwriter and I can't afford it. Like, I have to do it myself because there's no other option. Like, it was all very functional. It was all very mechanical because I didn't have like it in me to be creative. I didn't. For me, like, there was just nothing. Almost like there was no point. Like, why? Like, why do something joyful? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is no joy, so why do a joyful act, which creation is supposed to be? But at least I can say that all of that is much better now, and it did get better. I went to a doctor for insomnia, and I'm sleeping so much better now, and I don't have nightmares anymore, and I had nightmares even before that, like, just about other things. Like, I used to have very bad nightmares even in high school, right? So that's something that I probably should have done for a long time, for a while, but I think this is the best way I can explain it, and you guys may have noticed this if you've been watching Calxiyn Cares Too Much. You can see Calxiyn Cares Too Much at the beginning talking about Magnifico. I obviously still care about what I'm talking about, but you can see that like there's kind of like a deadness, or at least I perceive that as like there's a deadness there. There is like, I do want to talk about this thing, but I just, you know, the light and the energy is gone. And if you compare that Magnifico video to the last video I posted about the Disney Adorkable stuff, I feel like it's like night and day. So that's the thing, right? You know, it was just the spark was gone, but we persevered and I think we found the spark again, right? And so, yeah, I am writing now and I am songwriting and I am feeling better. But yeah, there was a while there where I was like, well, all of this is a means to an end. It's not an act of creation. It's just to have the tangible, almost like product, right? Whereas now I feel like I am really pouring my heart in this stuff, and like I hear the Soliana song, and it, even if it doesn't get 1 million views, it means so much to me because it's like, this is my song. This is what I wrote about my feelings, and it doesn't matter how many, you know, views it's gonna get. Obviously, I hope that the Soliana stuff does well, but yeah, I mean, you know, there's a fan fiction that I had worked on at that time. I've barely updated it. Or I should say I've updated it, but those chapters were already written, before I graduated. So, like, that fan fiction that I had going, like, before my grandfather died, it hasn't gotten new, like, material, you know what I mean, since then. It's still been very difficult to, like, write and return to these things. But you know what? Like, I'm reading more. I'm trying to do, like, on TikTok, there's, like, a personal curriculum thing, and so what I did was I stalked the University of Austin for their classes on, like, say, Gothic literature, right? And so I've taken their syllabus, and I've taken, like, the readings that they're supposed to do, and I basically, like, have made my own, right? Because if you, reading makes you a better writer, right? So, you know, I've been trying to, like, re-engage my muscles that way, like, making sure that I'm not just, like, consuming, and I'm not just, you know, watching anime or playing games, but, like, I'm reading more, and I'm making a concerted effort to read more. I'm thinking about, like, the mechanics of a sentence, like, why is this sentence effective, like, that sort of stuff. So, I'm not entirely sure how we got to this now, but yeah, the wedding thing is probably going to fuck me up when there is an actual wedding in sight. But it would have been nice, though. It would have been nice if Nono was here. But I know Nono approved of Arnold. Oh my gosh, Archie, you scared me again. You guys are gonna see how, like, jumpy I am in this video. It's because I'm, like, lost in my thoughts, right? Usually he doesn't scare me. He used to a little bit because I'm just a naturally kind of anxious, jumpy, person. I know you're wondering who your mommy's talking to all this time. I know, but, I mean, you've heard me record before. It's not that... I know, it's not that strange. Anyway, so it's very cute how he's in here today, though, because I just built him his little tree. The wedding thing is probably going to fuck me up closer to the actual wedding. But, you know, my grandfather loved Arnold. He approved of Arnold. Arnold is the one who did all of the life-saving measures, right? So, you know, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in a heaven, maybe not like the exact heaven that's in like any particular Bible, but a heaven. I believe that my grandfather is like, yeah, there is no, you can't top that. You can't top that person that did everything that they could to save the person that you love. you know? So I think that my grandfather, I know he approved of Arnold when my grandfather approved of Arnold when he was alive. But I think like now after my grandfather has passed away, he would definitely be like, yeah, you're not gonna find someone like that, right? It's not only about people in the good times, it's how somebody supports you in a crisis. That cemented that Arnold is the person. He's not the person that, you know, has the, weaponized incompetence that you see men on TikTok sometimes, and like people are like, listen, if you're not gonna leave him, I don't want to hear it, like to the wife posting the video or whatever, right? Like Arnold's not that person. He's not the type of person that runs away during a crisis situation. What happens when everything isn't like, you know, the early stages and the honeymoon phase and all of that stuff? Like we already went through, I think, something awful, right? And, you know, we've gone through other awful things, not on that scale, but just like, you know, this and that and whatever, right? Finances, work stress, like I've been unemployed all this time, like surely that stresses Arnold out, right? But he hasn't been like, well, you're not making any money, so I'm gonna go find someone better, right? And so I think that as much as I, again, would have liked the walking down the aisle, my grandfather's already co-signed this. He co-signed it a long time ago, I think. And so I'm happy about that. When I walk down the aisle, it'll be with, you know, the full support of him, even though he's not here, right? But yeah, and so it was hard. It was hard. And it still is hard. Sometimes I still wake up and I cry and I'm angry, right? Because again, it feels so unfair. Other unfair things have happened to me, but it felt like that's the first thing. Like, other things I've always been like, oh, but Cal, that was kind of your fault. You know what I mean? Even if it's not really. When bad things happen to us, we always justify it and say, well, you know, you could have done better, or like, you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation, even if that's not true. Right? You know, we blame ourselves. We find a way to blame ourselves because that way we have control over the situation. And we think that if we just take different measures, it'll never happen to us again. Like, it's almost like a coping mechanism, even for things that aren't our fault, right? I don't want to get into any, like, particular example, but you guys probably understand what I'm talking about, right? And so we're like, we think that we have the power to do something to stop it, and so we blame ourselves, right? And so, like, I was depressed in high school, like I talked about in this video, and like I talked about in this video, right? Like, other bad things have happened to me in my life, but that's the one that felt so just fundamentally unfair. Death doesn't discriminate, I guess, as Hamilton would say, right? We all understand that life's not fair. That's something that we all have in our heads. But if you haven't ever experienced the death of a family member firsthand and you haven't been there yourself, it's kind of like a detachment, right? But I think it's also because we saw it, like we were there and we saw it happen. That made us not understand why it happened even more. So all that to say, this was not an hour-long video, Calxiyn. There was no way, because I like to talk and a lot of stuff has changed, and this is my time to talk. Like, this is the only thing pretty much that I'm doing today, and so, like, I should get to say my piece. I've waited 5 years. There was no way, but yeah, it's kind of a sad note to end on, but she was pretty optimistic about it, that we'd pick ourselves back up and, like, we would keep going, and I did pick myself back up,
I wanted to see what the future holds and, you know, experience some of the best of what life has to offer so badly, and that's, I guess, like, I don't want me to make you feel that you have let me down in any way if you have not achieved your dreams
that's
yet,
nice.
because what I think
I
is,
wish
like,
you said that at the beginning!
Right, like, 5 years ago, when I was 15, I wanted to be a writer, and you probably remember that, and I was, like, constantly writing, like, I was writing all the time, constantly.
And there's still
I had so many books planned. I wanted to get published, all that sort of stuff. And like, anything can happen by 25. Like, if you found an office job that you loved and it wasn't the YouTube channel or it wasn't performing or whatever, like, you know, I believe, like, in whatever dreams you're gonna have going forward. Right? Like, I
like
believe
that.
You will fight
I was so
for whatever dreams, even if they
eloquent
aren't my dreams, even
like,
if we changed our dreams.
I love
I still
this
believe in you,
supportive,
and I hope that you're able to make things happen and, like, work towards them, you know? And so I guess I want to ask if you've enjoyed everything that you've done this far.
I don't know
if anything unexpected
if I would
has
ever
happened that I
talk
can ask
as nicely
about.
to myself now.
What are your
I need
plans,
to have
I guess, moving forward?
this sort of
that is about it.
kindness.
So,
I extended a lot of oh my gosh, oh, that's me. I extended a lot of kindness
I guess.
to my future self. I need to talk to myself like that more often if that's something that I have learned in this video. So I know that we've been talking for 2 hours. I have a feeling that like no one's gonna watch this whole thing. Like the futuration, it is a little bit, it's a self-serving kind of video at the end of the day. I don't expect it to get like 1 million views, but in case someone is, I would say do it, right? You should do it. You should do it. If it's a letter to yourself, if it's a video, whatever. I think you should do it because I have learned a lot today. First of all, I did not disappoint myself, but I also realize in hindsight, I guess, how much kindness I held for my future self. And I don't think I do that enough these days, you know? I think that obviously, like I said, self-care, mental health is great. I've been so happy like the last couple months. But I will admit that I'm kind of bad in terms of like beating myself up of like, what would future Calxiyn think if you like skip out on editing now, then future Calxiyn has to do it later, like more in a stern way, right? Whereas this Calxiyn was pretty open to like, if your dreams have changed, like go for it, bestie, you know? Whereas I'm kind of like, future Calxiyn is watching, like she's always watching and you better edit for her or else. Like I have a very or else approach with I need to do this for the sake of my future self, and my future self will be fucking pissed. And it's not like that I won't be pissed, but it's just like we have to reframe it. It's not about being mad or not. It's like this will be the best thing for both of us if we do this right now, you know? So that's the only thing. I basically like, you know, my boss is really shitty. I'm my own boss. Like, that's basically what it is, especially in terms of work and stuff. I'm kind of like a drill sergeant sometimes with myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? And so, for example, I have to prep for a bunch of auditions. I probably should have said that earlier, right? When she was talking about the auditioning stuff. Instead of saying, like, you need to practice these dance moves because you're gonna disappoint future Calxiyn, I should be like, practicing these dance moves is going to be beneficial to you now in this moment and then also in the future. Just, you know, having that sort of kindness of like, we're not doing things because we're afraid that we're gonna fail. We're doing things because we want to set ourselves up for the best shot of success. This Calxiyn was really good at that. I think that that's something that I need to learn now, that I focus a lot on like the fear of failure instead of we're gonna do this in order to succeed. I will say though, my intrusive thoughts have gotten better, and things that have helped with that have been, if I have magical thinking, right, that something terrible is gonna happen, that means that good things can happen too. And my positive thinking should be just as magical, right? So if I'm like lying in bed worrying about something, I'm like, okay, well, if you have magical thinking and can suddenly, you know, cause like the world to explode, can't you equally cause something good to happen to you? That, and then also like, well, that could happen, but it also couldn't happen. Like this could happen instead. So I've gotten a bit better with that and just like making time for me and what I want to do, right? I mentioned that earlier, the work-life balance thing. I don't edit for 10 hours a day, right? I edit like 9 to 5, basically. Like I'll edit for like a 8-hour workday and then it's like, it's done. You have to read. You have to replenish, right? That's what I was really bad at after my grandfather had passed away. And maybe I was always bad at it, but I think it became worse. I was bad at replenishing, right? I could go, and I could do all this work and I could like edit after edit after edit. But was I intaking new stuff? Was I connecting with new pieces of art, right? That's something that I feel like I have gotten better in the last couple months, and maybe that's why I've been happy for 3 months straight, right? I keep saying that like, oh, Calxiyn, you were happy for 3 months straight. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I got to be happy for 3 months straight, right? Because I'm making time for, okay, work is over, right? And I still get that temptation of like, but it'll only take an hour to finish. It doesn't matter, okay? Work day, right? The end of the workday, you leave your work at work. You leave your work at work. You don't bring it home. You know, that's something I've always been bad at as a YouTuber. I've been getting better at that now. What I'm surprised that she didn't mention was if my mom had caved and gotten me a cat. As you can see, he's not here anymore. But as you can see, yeah, she did cave, but I'm really surprised my past self didn't ask about that. So to wrap it up, yes, past Calxiyn, not all of our dreams have come true quite yet. However, we have new dreams now and we're pursuing our dreams. And I think that that's almost better than having everything like checked off at 25, because then what do you have to do? You know what I mean? Like even if, because she was talking about jobs and auditions and I hope you work at a theme park and stuff, that hasn't happened yet, but I don't feel like a failure or something, you know, because that hasn't happened, if that makes sense. Like, I have set myself up for success in all of those, like, regards. Like, I went to school, I'm practicing my material, I'm still dancing, I'm still singing, right? And so it's like, okay, well, we're not there yet, but we did pursue it. And that's half of the battle, is that people give up right before they even get their shot. Like, we're still, everything that we have planted over the last 5 years has been so we have those opportunities. And I feel like that we're finally seeing the fruits of our labor, especially with Calxiyn Cares Too Much. Like, that is like the seed I planted 2 years ago, getting that 100,000 view video. So, all of that to say, I think that's kind of what life is, I think. I think that it's now in 5 years, I can say, as a 25-year-old who suddenly knows everything about life, I feel like that's what life is. It's planting the seeds, right? It's cultivating your garden. It's not checking the stuff off the list, right? And that's why I say in the Calxiyn videos, like, I can't promise that you'll be on Broadway, but if you, like, do this thing, you'll, like, learn more about yourself, and, like, doing the art is worth it for the benefits of doing art itself and, like, all of that stuff, right? So I feel like I've become a bit less goal-oriented. Like, I still have goals, right? Like, I would love to get 100,000 subscribers on Calxiyn Cares Too Much. I want the VTuber project to launch. I want it to launch. That's the other thing that was not on her mind at this time at all, was having a VTuber, because I think that it might have been 2020, but it could have been 2021 when Iris released. Yeah, I don't know, actually. It might have been. I have seen them already, but it was never on my mind to, like, be a VTuber, right? So I don't mention that in this video. Like, that's something that I also couldn't have foreseen, right? And, like, you know, I auditioned for VTuber companies too, but, like, having my own VTuber model and all of that stuff. So yeah, like, you don't know. It's just like Barbie says, right? Though you may not know where your gifts may lead, and it may not show at the start, if you live your dreams, you'll find destiny was written in your heart, right? Barbie Princess and the Popper. I do believe that that's true, right? It's really, even though I still have those goals, my dream, I think now more than ever, is the person I'll become by pursuing those things. Not necessarily, oh, yep, I got a job at a theme park and, like, we're checking that off the list. It's like, I became that person with that capability. Whether it happens or not is not within my control. Just like getting 100,000 subscribers or whatever, like, all of this stuff, that's not within my control. But to be the person that has, I guess, grown as a person enough that those things are within reach, I feel like that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing. So I hope that if you got to the end, which I expect that there's a couple of you, probably Arnold and Hunter watched it all the way to the end because they're, you know, nice and everything, I hope that this gave you perspective or wisdom or something, you know. I didn't make this into a listicle video, like everything I learned by having a time capsule to my past self. Like, I tried to promise that you guys would hear something, you know, meaningful, but I can't, like, guarantee that you did. Like, I hope that you found the meaning in what I said through, like, the experience of seeing me do this. I think I'm definitely gonna do it for Calxiyn Cares Too Much. I think I am, and I'm gonna do it, like, 10 years in the future, or 7 or something, like an unconventional sort of number. But I may do it on, like, my birthday. I'm not gonna do it now. I've talked for too long already. But yeah, I just want to say, you know, thank you to everybody who supported me over the last 5 years. I know she ended on a sort of sad note, but I won't end that way. I am so proud of everything that we've done, everything that we've built together, whether you've been watching me for a day or for years and years now. Just thank you guys so much, and I hope, again, that this had meaning for you in some way and you're able to take some lesson, like, learn from the mistakes that I made or the mistakes I didn't make and whatever, right? It's very interesting to see how much changes, but I think that a lot is the same, right? This bubbly person was always still inside. It just took a while for her to come back out again. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun. I will see you sooner than you think. Like I said, I know that I've been kind of slacking with the reactions because of everything I've already talked about, the reactions in terms of, you know, like, this isn't my job, it's more my hobby now, but Hunter and I are gonna be back for Twisted Wonderland and Has Been Hotel. So I hope you enjoyed, I hope you had fun. It's actually the same microphone too, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!